been so much in the news that this episode of the Hotbox will be a kind of amalgam of the Hotbox Show, Myrtles Rant, and a little bit of update of what's been going on with Fields of Green for All. So last Saturday saw the mass action all around the country, and we were really proud of our cannabis community for coming out in their droves. Some areas had small groups, some areas had larger groups. Cape Town and Pretoria handed over memorandums to various government officials, and we all had a jolly good time and a showing of solidarity that I'm sure you've seen all the way across social media in this last week. And then for our sins, we hit the ground running on Monday, and on Wednesday was a very big day for us here at Fields of Green for All, because we put out our press release and got together a really slick little last minute marketing campaign, because the mass action was incredibly necessary, and it happened at exactly the right time. But we had planned to release the news of the trial of the plant to sort of, I think, since about March. Us here at Fields of Green have been speaking to our brothers over at Cullinan's, Paul Michael and Ricky, and we've been chatting about going back to court. There were a whole lot of last straws that really were that thing that just made us realize that it would be the right thing to go back to court. Certainly the Hayes Club case dismissal was one in question, and all around the country we have all sorts of legal stuff going on. We really seem to be driving this country with court cases at the moment, and I've got very mixed feelings about that, because who's going to pay for all of this? And who's going to pay not only in monetary terms, but also in terms of the emotional input that goes into things like this, the psychological drain on a lot of us who've been doing this for such a long time. So a lot of thought went into making this decision, and we really did give the government all the chance that they could possibly need to redeem themselves. So yesterday our press release went out, and thank you very much to the various publications that featured these articles prominently on your pages, on your blogs, on your websites, in the print media. Thanks to the Citizen, Maritza Kutza always comes up for the cannabis community. Thanks to Paddy Harbour from Durban, the Mail and Guardian, who interviewed both Paul Michael and myself. Thank you to our amazing Marijuana SA, who have been interviewing Paul Michael, and that interview will come out on Marijuana SA's socials tomorrow, so be sure to watch it, and we'll share that on our socials as well. Those amazing guys over there at MJSA are always on it with the news. Also to Brett up there in Limpopo from Cannabis News Africa, if we're hitting it the nail on the head again, and bringing to us an amazing article that actually pulled all of these bits together, the mass action, us going back to court, and of course on the day that we went back to court, Neil posted on our groups that the Hayes Club appeal has been successfully launched. Yeah. So today, just to pile it on a bit, we had a lovely meeting with Bernadette Eniver, the defendant in the Labour court case. Her appeal is due to go in mid-October. We're going to do a lot more about that on the Hayes Club case, on the Hotbox Show, just so that everybody can get a broad perspective that we are poking this beast from every single angle that we can. So we'll be in the Labour Court of Appeal here in Johannesburg in the months to come. Maybe only early next year, but we have to get the campaign for that going, because it all costs money, but more about that next week. So the mass action last week, I think that it wasn't about being there on the pavement outside Parliament in Cape Town, or at your local municipality, in Pretoria in front of the union buildings. It was really about boosting the gees of the cannabis community again, and I think that
just reminding them,
just reminding people. So the tensions are running high really all around the world as we march towards the end of the year. So for the last 2 days, Charles and myself have been sitting into some meetings.